In the previous lectures, we have seen that knowledge of different aspects of Mesopotamian culture can help us interpret the Tower of Babel story. Against this background, we will now explore how this information illuminates the message of the story. What is the meaning of this narrative? How does it use the information regarding Mesopotamian civilization? Scholars have proposed a broad range of answers to this question. We will survey some of them in light of the comparative material we presented before. Several exegetes have claimed that the story is designed to mock Mesopotamian culture and its ideas about the world, the gods, and humanity. As in previous cases, one of the leading advocates of this reading is Cassuto. Here are several quotes from his commentary on Genesis.
The story represents a polarically opposite attitude to that of the pagan peoples. We have before us a kind of satire on what appeared to be a thing of beauty and glory in the eyes of the Babylonians, a parody of their customary assertions and narrations. I have already indicated earlier how overweening was the boastful pride of the Babylonians in regard to their city, temple, and ziggurat. Our narrative regards all this vaunting and conceit with a smile. You children of Babylon. In this or similar vein ran the thoughts of the Israelites. You called your city Babel, Bar-Ilan, Gate of God, or Bar-Ilan, Gate of the Gods. And your tower you designated House of the Foundations of Heaven and Earth. You desired that the top of your tower should be in heaven, but you did not know that God alone, not a human being, can determine where the gate of God is. You did not understand that, even were you to raise the summit of your ziggurat ever so high, you would not be nearer to him than when you stand upon the ground. Nor did you comprehend that he who in truth dwells in heaven, if he wishes to take a close look at your lofty tower, must needs come down. You did not consider the fact that you lack strong and durable material, that the nature of your country compels you to use bricks for stone and asphalt for mortar, and hence you could not hope that your buildings would long endure. You were proud of your power, but you should have known that it is forbidden to man to exalt himself, for only the Lord is truly exalted. And the pride of man is regarded by him as iniquity that leads to his downfall and degradation, a punishment befitting the crime. On account of this, your dominion was shattered, and your families were scattered over the face of the whole earth. Behold, how fitting is the name that you have given to your city. It is true that in your language it expresses glory and pride, but in our idiom it sounds as though it connotes confusion, the confusion of tongues heard therein, which caused its destruction and the dispersion of its inhabitants in every direction. Such thoughts are reflected in the biblical story of the generation of division.
Cassuto proposes that this narrative is satirical. The construction of the city and tower represents the arrogant ambition of the inhabitants of Babylon. The city represents political hubris. The Babylonians believe that they are able to build a city of such importance that all humanity will live there. The tower represents religious hubris. The Babylonians believe that they are able to build a tower so marvelous that it will connect the heaven and earth. According to Cassuto, the story mocks the Babylonian etymology of the name Babylon. The story claims that Babel is not the gate of the gods. It is also not the point where heaven and earth meet and unite the cosmos. Rather, Babel is a place of schism and confusion. Accordingly, Cassuto believes that the comparison between Israelite and Mesopotamian building technologies was intended to mock the ziggurat structure, the jewel in the crown of Mesopotamian technology. According to Cassuto, The story presents Mesopotamian building materials as inferior to those used by the Israelites. It implies that the Babylonians lacked the basic material means to accomplish their ambitious project. The entire enterprise was therefore ridiculous. The tower is so far from the heavens that God above must go down in order to get a closer look at it. Similar interpretations have been proposed by many other scholars. Before we proceed to review a different reading of this story, it is worth noting that another episode in the book of Genesis has been understood as an anti-Babylonian polemic, Jacob's dream in Genesis 28. You will find more information about the relation of this story to the current discussion on the course website.